don't get me wrong. I get it. Our child is the most important thing in our lives. Let's be real. Or our children. But if we throw our life away based on emotions, what good is that for them? I want to make this clear because I know sometimes, man, our ego, that fake pride get in the way where we can't see another man or another woman next to our child. And I'm not even in this situation when it comes to both parents in the house.
And that's why I'm cool on being a stepfather or a baby, like legit. Cause bro, like I said, I'm not gonna be emotional. Hey, if we not together and you get another man, do you, shorty? As long as he a good man, he gonna treat my kids just like he treat his mama good, hopefully. But I don't want to be in that situation. I'm trying to be married and have kids. I'm cool. Cause niggas be tender dick over their baby mamas, cause she with another dude. So
Household, nor did I grow up that way. But I am honest enough to say, if you do want to control that, it's probably best you be with the parent of your child. Because if not, man, we have no say-so who they talk to. We can only pray and hope to God they make the right decision and be in our child life just as equally to be able to block anything that could prevent them from being the best version of themselves. Now, I say all that to say this. There's a couple stories I want to bring to you guys' attention, but today we're going to Mobile, Alabama, well, at least for this video. Today we talk about a dance recital that turned deadly for kids. A young man getting gunned down on camera in front of his daughter by his baby mother's boyfriend. Now, according to the lawyer for the boyfriend, they've been having altercations. They've been having back and forths, which brings us to today. The last altercation turned deadly, but a man just got murdered, whether it was self-defense or not, because he brought a firearm in a public place, which is a huge no-no, regardless if the firearm is registered or not. Today, we briefly go over this story, pay our respects to the victim, see what took place, talk about the establishment and where we stand today. But before we go over this, I want you guys to remember, I don't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We're gonna jump right to it. Fan me, Carl Williams III. He was a quarterback for BC Reign, class of 2015. Here's a picture of him as Reign hosts Faith Academy, October 17, 2014, at Tremont Park in Mobile, Alabama. In high school, he was a star. Check out a clip.
Say, but they go for 11. Come get a tip pack, get them cheaper. I can mill the man the dough, but I'm the source when talking.
According to AL.com, in 2014, the BC Reign Red Raiders had squeaked into the class of 5A playoffs following a 3-game winning streak to finish the season. For college, he attended Concordia College in Selma. Eventually, he also became a dad to a beautiful young girl. And as we know by now, he wasn't in a relationship with his daughter's mother. She had a new boyfriend. She was talking to a man named Marcus Sanders, 27 years old, from Mobile, Alabama. And they knew each other. And according to their lawyer, they had prior altercations.
Ex-girlfriend. He says his client and the victim have a history.
He has attacked Marcus previously. Marcus did not fight back, did not do anything, was attacked at Mardi Gras. They have pressed charges against him. He had a no contact order. The man should not have even been at the recital.
Now, the recital his lawyer is referencing to is at the Sanger Theater. This took place.
Who, the boyfriend or the baby daddy shouldn't have been at the recital? Like, don't get me wrong, like, this is my kid. You can't tell me I can't. That nigga should be at the baby. If we got altercation, this is my daughter. You will be like, so I'm confused on who they.
Sunday on the 1st of June in 2025. Now, for those who don't know anything about the Sanger Theater, it opened back in January 19th, 1927. It was the 61st Sanger Theater of a chain founded by J.H. and A.D. Sanger in New Orleans. There were Sanger theaters located throughout the South, as well as Cuba and Puerto Rico. Hailed as Alabama's greatest showplace and the most beautiful playhouse in all of Dixie. The Mobile Sanger Theater took a year of construction at cost about $500,000, designed by re-owned architect Emily Well. The Mobile Sanger Theater featured the following 3-color auditorium lighting and 2-manu 10-rank Robert Morton Theater organ. Full stage facilities to accommodate large road shows, including stage and wardrobe traps, 4 floors of dressing rooms, musicians and choir rooms, and 2,615 seats. Around 1950, the seats on the floor were replaced and respaced, reducing the seating capacity to about. Son was not a bitter baby dad. And to the young man who's condoning my son's death, may God be with you. It's not a 3-on-1. It was a 1-on-1. I lost my son over nonsense. I'm not going back and forth with nobody. I know I raised my son, best of my ability. And my son was not a bitter baby dad. All he wanted to do was work and take care of his family. Feel however you feel about my boy. I was there, me, his mother. So please leave the negative comments. I love.
So why was they getting into it then every time they seen each other? Like, don't get me wrong. Like, you don't know. Like I said, from what the mom was saying, but that's your parents or your parents gonna take up for their son. But the story could be misconstrued. But like, why was they getting into it every time they seen each other? Then like, who was tripping, the boyfriend or the baby daddy? And and for a dude to bring a gun to a gun recital is crazy. Like, he must knew the dude was gonna be there or something. Cause like, why are you bringing a gun to a little girl's dance recital? Like, come on, bro. Like, what you need a gun in there for, bro? So he must have knew or something that dude was gonna be there, and they said they be getting into it. So he planned like, hey, this time they say he wasn't fighting back most of the times. They got into it. So he must thought like, hey, I ain't about to get beat up no more. So that's what it sounds like.
Love my son. He didn't deserve any of that. People are so evil, but my God sit high and look low. A grieving mom.
A children's dance recital turned deadly Sunday night after shots rang out inside Mobile's Sanger Theater. A 27-year-old man was shot and later died, and another victim was shot in the ankle. Police say the shooter took off on foot, leaving the scene.
Then
What was left behind was a theater full of terrified kids and families. A shocking scene inside Mobile's Sanger Theater.
All I heard was some arguing, and then from there, I heard gunshots, and I saw the fire from the gun, and we just hit the ground under the benches.
Mobile police say two men got into an argument before one of them pulled out a gun. 27-year-old Marcus Sanders is accused of shooting Carl Williams III, who later died. Another victim was shot in the ankle.
I took cover with my mom as everybody was trying to get out of the door. I learned to just be still. To be still, because as you trying to run from a scene, you can cause yourself to get hurt even more. So we sat and we were still, and we was calling on the name of Jesus, because that's who we know to call on in times of trouble.
And here you are.
And here we are.
Moments before the shooting, Williams took this video of his daughter performing on stage. Soon, families were running for their lives and students were taken to safety. NBC 15's Darwin Singleton spoke to a young girl who says she was in a dressing room.
You didn't get to perform, did you?
I only performed one.
That young girl's grandfather describes the worry he felt while separated from his granddaughter after the bullets went flying.
I've been crying.
I bet.
Because the kids are traumatized, and I'm traumatized because, you come to an event for children, and children who are doing things positive, and then you have this to happen. And it's nerve-wracking, man. I mean, it's going to stay with me for a while. And I've been trying to consult my granddaughter.
Niggas don't know how to act.
But, it's sad. It's sad.
Witnesses shared their frustration about the fact that a gun was brought to an event that was intended to be a happy moment.
It is, especially when kids are involved. When a whole bunch of kids are involved, and a bullet has no name. And so at that moment, you're not thinking about the children, and you're just thinking it's senseless.
Yeah,
It's really senseless.
Mobile Police Chief William Jackson says the shooting appears to have stemmed from a domestic situation, and the suspect and deceased victim knew each other. Hours after the shooting, Sanders turned himself in. He's being charged with murder and first-degree assault. Minutes after the crowds cleared and the ambulances left, Mobile Police Chief William Jackson turned his attention to media to try to explain what happened. That's a difficult question to answer, but even more difficult is how do we keep it from happening again? NBC 15's Darwin Singleton covered last night's shooting and sat down with Chief Williams this afternoon to talk about that. Darwin, the chief, was visibly disturbed by what unfolded last night.
Well, Aubrey, Chief Jackson and I have had this same discussion several times over the past few months. Gun violence in very public places where children have been present. The shootings at Sage Park and Langham Park, to name a couple. Well, last night's jarring episode at Mobile's historic Sanger Theater came during a children's dance recital where no metal detectors were in use, as they are for city or Sanger-sponsored events. The Sanger is managed by OVG, which does not require metal detectors nor extra security for private events. But Chief Jackson, who tells me he's still angry about what transpired last night, says security measures at the Sanger, well, they're about to change.
There was an officer of security there last night. However, he responded within seconds. He was out checking another area, and it happened, in the arena part, and he had to rush to it. But yes, there are protocols are being reviewed by the city, and I'm sure there'll be some type of changes between the city and their partner. I'm no less angry now than I was last night. It's senseless, it's despicable. These families and their children were celebrating. There's no reason gun violence should have ever erupted in there. So I'm as mad now about it as I was last night when we talked.
Earlier today, Mayor Sandy Stimpson noted that the theater manager, OVG, did not require that extra security for those private affairs at the Sanger.
I mean,
but he said,
I get it, cause like I said, bro, it's a a kid's dance recital. So like, how much more security do you need? Like, and don't get me wrong, like these niggas should be shooting up anything nowadays. They don't care about kids, who there and who they hit. So I understand why security, you should have security, but like it's a dance recital. Who thought dude was gonna bring a gun to there and they get into it and he just whip out and start shooting? Like I said, dude must have planned that because he must have knew dude was gonna be there. Like I said, and they must get into it every time they see each other. And he's like, you know what, this is the last time, and I gotta do what I gotta do. And it's crazy that he did that right there and there. They couldn't even, like, the fact that they even got into it in the theater is crazy. Like, y'all could have waited till y'all got outside to have y'all words or wherever, bro. But y'all did it inside in that area, bro. It's crazy. And like I said, it's a dance recital. So how much, like I said, how much security do you need?
Says that changes going forward as of now. So if you have to pass through a metal detector for, let's say,
And to the young man, Rob Bolton Jr., who think it's okay, I'm going to pray hard for you. Long live Carl. This was a very unfortunate situation. We do want to say rest in peace to Carl. Our love and condolences to his family. The fact that he lost his life in front of his daughter at her dance recital, you can only imagine the pain she's going to endure for the rest of her life. I'm sending love and prayers to everyone who was affected by the story we just talked about. Fam, let me know how you guys feel about this one in the comments. This was the story of a Mobile, Alabama man who was gunned down in front of his daughter by the hands of his baby mother's boyfriend. Talk to me in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And today, I'll catch you guys on the next one.
And I just hope that little girl don't have no resentment towards her mama, bro, and animosity. Because, like, her boyfriend, like, because she know, I don't know how old the little girl is, but the little girl definitely know. And, like, and it's just crazy, bro. It just, like, man, certain places you just, stuff shouldn't just be happening. But, like I said, the dude must have planned. He already knew what was going to happen. Like I said, they must get into it every time. And like I said, from, early in the video, they saying dude was getting beat up. So he was like, hey, if I see him again, we get into it again, it ain't going to be that. It's just going to be what it is. I'm going to pop him. And he did that. And like I said, and then he ran off. Like, so it is what it is. Like I said, rest in peace to that man. And condolences to his family and his daughter, bro. And it's just sad, man. You niggas need to get y'all lives together, bro. But shout out to the Family TV for the video, and I'll catch y'all on the next one.